So we're at a rescue today. We have 60 horses here that we're gonna see if they are gonna show any signs of eating messed up, see who needs help, see who's dropping hay. We might have our first one.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna go through these 60 horses and look for signs of eating issues, signs of needing a float, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna point it out as we go. We're gonna look for hay ball, for dropped grain. We're gonna look for all the things so that we can get floats into these guys if they need it. Think of that. I was wondering if you had some eating issues. Doesn't look it. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna look for an area where horses are eating and see if there's any hay balls or quids, which are known as hay balls, which basically means that a horse either has points they're dealing with or unevenness in the teeth, so they're not able to fully masticate their food and ingest it. They're spitting it out and it looks like miniature cigars. So let's see if we can find some. Example of a quid, right? So it looks like a cigar. It's chopped up slightly, but it's moist from them chewing on it and trying to masticate it. What a quid looks like. It's like a little mini cigar that's pre-chewed. And if you see a lot of these, it usually means a horse doesn't have balanced teeth or has really sharp points. So this would be a sign of potential tooth issues. Or if you have an older horse where their teeth are really, really worn down and they're not long like they used to be, they're not balanced, that can also be an indicator that teeth are expiring, especially in an old horse. And they're gonna have food issues and gonna need some mash. So that's a quid. That could be another example of a quid. It's not entirely a ball, but it's chopped up hay that is spit out by a horse. So keep eyes out for that. That could be an indication that there is a tooth issue. Another issue when it comes to food and things you can look out for is next to the grain bucket. If there's excessive amounts of grain on the ground, that could also mean that your horse is having a hard time keeping grain in. Something that you can do to make it a little bit easier is if you make a mash, meaning mix a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of warm water in with their grain, stir it up with a spoon and make it like a mashed potato consistency. That can sometimes help them keep the food in if they're having teeth issues and they can't masticate, you know, granulated food.
What should I watch for during feeding that signals difficulty chewing?
First and foremost, what I want to encourage people to do when they feed their horse, and I know that a lot of people are on a time constraint and they have everything on a schedule. So when you feed your horse, don't dump the grain and then leave, and don't throw a flake of hay or 2 flakes of hay and then leave. I suggest to every horse owner, when you feed, stand by and watch how your horse eats normally, like how you would normally see your horse eat. Because that's the only way. If you don't have a baseline on what you can expect, the style of eating that your horse is gonna show you, you're not gonna actually be able to see if there's a change because you have nothing to go on. I encourage every horse owner when you feed to get a baseline of how your horse is eating and see what their normal actually is by several days watching them eat. And then if anything comes up that is different than that, you'll know if it's time for a float or time for an exam or time to make a mash.
So what are the earliest behavior changes that might indicate dental discomfort?
Well, if you're a horse rider and you're using a bit, if your horse normally goes smooth in the bit and they start either cocking their head or resisting any kind of pressure from the bit, that could indicate possible points developing. Typically, horses develop points like 1/8 of an inch within a 12-month period, sometimes faster depending on exercise, supplementation, and food quality. Those are all enhancers for growth with both teeth and feet. So those are some early signs. Another early sign would be like if they started dropping grain or balling up hay. If you guys like that video, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like more educational content around horses' teeth, around floating, around bits, around what signs to look for if your horse is having an eating issue, please subscribe to the channel, click for notifications, and I look forward to seeing you in the next